Fountain pens and inks. Obsession? Maybe. Welcome to Urban Inkspot. My name is Janine, and today is a new ink day. And not just because I'm inking up something new. This one is a little special because I actually finished a bottle of ink. Now, this is the DeAtramentis Document Black. And it was 45 mils, and it was a solid, reliable black pigment ink that I used pretty much for everything. Journaling, a little bit of sketching, writing some cards, addressing envelopes. And it has been my go-to black pigment ink for a long time because it's waterproof, it's light fast, and it's really built for everyday use. This is actually the ink that I have had inked in my TWSBI for a long time, and it's what I use to write all my titles and just everyday documenting things. And I also have a tiny bit left in my Platinum Preppy as well, again for writing envelopes, journaling, writing cards. And now I'm excited to say that this ink is officially empty, and I've rinsed out the bottle. Now, I don't actually finish a lot of bottles. I think this is the third bottle I've ever finished. I finished Pilot Iroshizuku Kujaku. I finished Noodler's Subway Series Sepia. And now this is the third bottle. And I would say that actually makes me kind of a slow collector. So when something leaves my shelf, it makes space for something less of a backup, but more of a successor. So today, I want to introduce my new black ink. This is Sailor Kiwaguro, and it's another black pigment ink, but it has a different personality. So where Document Black is really bold and really matte, Kiwaguro is more smooth, it's more refined, and it's supposed to be a little more expressive. So it has a soft sheen. It's supposed to look almost like a brushed satin finish when it dries, or at least that's what we talked about when I was at the Goods for the Study here on the Upper West Side in New York City. I was talking with the staff, and they recommended it for the properties of Sailor inks, and for this one in particular. Brushed satin is actually the phrase that they used. For my inking tools today, I'm also going to be using, here's our ink. For the inking tools, I'm going to be using my Kakimori brass nib, and it's in a deleter free pen holder. And I will also be using a syringe and a swatch tool, which is from one of my favorite tequilas. This is the cork, and it's got a nice I'm not even sure, I guess it's like an acrylic coating on that, so I like to use that. And let's see what else I have. I think that's it. Oh, you know what else? I'm going to, sitting right here, I'm also going to ink it on these brand new Yoseka stationery cards that I got it on a recent haul. So let's give my new friend some time in the sun. I need to put behind here a sheet just in case it does want to. Oh, you know what? Am I going to do it here? No, I'm going to do it here. Today is July the 19th. Introducing Sailor Kiwaguro. Oh, you know what? Do the chromatography strip. So we can get a look at how that does. Oh, wow, this is pretty. It looks like I'm picking up just a tiny bit of blue on this as it comes up the strip. I'll show it here for you, but this is barely moving. Okay, this is the first time I've swatched on all of the inks that I have swatched recently. This is the first time I've swatched anything that is a pigment ink that is also a water-resistant ink. So it is moving really slowly. It is moving really slowly. Wow, that's interesting. Okay, so I'm going to put this over here to dry. Let's get a look at my ink collection card. And what am I going to put on here? I think we will start with the obvious. Let's start with the name. Sailor Kiwaguro. I don't think that I'm going to be the person who stays inside the line on these ink swatches. I just don't think that's my style. I'm not that organized. And I'm going to put on here, when did I get this? So this is July. Actually, I bought this. When did I actually buy it? I bought it in June 2025 and have been waiting to do this video. So I'm going to say JUN 2025. And I'm going to say the amount of ink. This is 50 mil. Okay. I don't think I'm going to put anything at the bottom of this card. I think I'm just going to leave it for now and see what happens when I am ready to do that. I've just filled in that little bit, and let me just use a little bit more ink here to see if I can. There we go. Now we've got a lighter shade and a darker shade. Okay, this is how this guy is looking. It has not moved up the strip very much. So interesting. Okay. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, that sure is pretty. Okay. Okay, we'll let these continue to dry for a little bit. And I did want to kind of give you a little bit of a preview because lately I've been thinking or rethinking how I look at inks in general, because I've started re-swatching all of my inks, somewhat inspired by picking up this ink collection card I got these from Yoseka Stationery, and I'm also re-swatching all of my inks at the back of this Tomoe River notebook. This is a Galen Leather 52 GSM Tomoe River paper. This is the original Tomoe River. And as I have been swatching all of my bottled inks and as my collection grows, I realized I've gotten better at noticing what I actually like in an ink. So as I've gone through the swatching, I can see a noticeable part of my collection where I'm not just interested in what's popular or recommended, because absolutely I am, but I'm looking for what works for me and the colors, the textures, and how they behave on paper as I use them in everyday writing. That's really shaping how I choose what comes next. So Kiwaguro feels like a great fit for where I'm at right now. It is water resistant because it's pigment, it's more permanent. It's practical, but it also has that hint of elegance. So it's not really a flashy ink. It's more purposeful, and that's really the kind of vibe I'm looking for in my daily ink. Yeah, this is pretty. It's got like a little bit of is it a sheen? Maybe a bit of a sheen. And as I was saying, it's not as super dark as let's see, I've started a currently inked. Yeah, you can tell this was written with the DeAtramentis Document Black ink, and you can tell there's a little bit like of a lighter element to it. It's not as bold and matte. It's a little bit smoother. Wow. Brushed satin is what they said, and I don't think they're wrong. Wow. Okay. All right, Kiwaguro. Hey there. So anyway, this ink, or the completion of this ink and the introduction of its successor, really does feel like a small milestone, because it's not just finishing a bottle, but it's also noticing what matters to me in a replacement. And it brings that permanence, it brings that smooth flow, but it also brings more of a nuanced finish. And I'm really excited to live with it for a while and through the completion of this bottle. So I'm really curious to know, let me know in the comments, have you finished any bottles of inks? Have you finished any bottles lately? And did you replace it with something similar? Or did you go in a whole new direction? Did you get somewhere close? Or are you completely different? Anyway, thank you so much for joining me on this new ink day to celebrate the end of one chapter and the beginning of a new one. And please keep an eye out for that full swatching video that's coming very soon of all of my inks. I'm going to add this one to it before I actually release and start editing that video. So until then, happy inking, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you. Bye.